Hello and welcome to Jimmerish FM. This is James speaking from the quietness of a night on the last grasps of summer of 2016. Okay, yes, right. I am here today. I'm super excited to introduce to you guys, the loyal listeners who are still with us, something really super cool and fun. And something we haven't really done before on Jimmerish FM. And, as you've noticed, there hasn't been a lot of new content going up on Jimmerish FM, and I want to fix that. I want to fix that ASAP. And so I've been working on this for about a month now. I have decided to host a bit of a contest of sorts to find the next Jimmerish FM co-host. Someone who'll come in here, keep me honest, and make sure that, I put out a new show on the reg. Someone who will just do anything with me, whether it's, it'll probably be a new show, but, maybe that will help me out, resurrect an old show like Betty and the Beast. I don't know, but they'll come in every week and record something new, some great new content for the radio station and the podcast feed. And hopefully mix in with some other stuff that I've got backlogged to put out there that I'm excited to share with you. Anyway, so what are we going to do here? Why do we need a co-host? Well, because I need someone to help me produce more content on Jimmerish FM. How did I go about this? Well, look, I am a filmmaker in my other life, and I hold auditions, and we send out audition notices to various sites to get people in to come and audition for roles. And I thought, you know what? Screw sort of what's the word? Just casually. What's this word? Words on the top of my tongue. Screw just passively, searching for a host just through people I meet, a new co-host through people I meet. I'm going to put an audition notice out there on a talent website and see who applies. And we got over 50 applications, which is pretty good for a small little city like this with a completely unknown gig. And I auditioned about 10 people out of those 50, the people I picked out that seemed like they weren't going to murder me. And no, I'm just kidding. Just the people I thought who actually, when they applied, actually put some effort into their application. And then I held auditions of those 10 people. We met up in the new Hank joint in my city, Perth, the Quay on the river. And I talked to them, let them introduce themselves and talk about what they would bring to the role. And I'm going to let you guys actually listen into my top 3 candidates that I picked out of that 10. And you'll have the chance to vote for your favorites. And it will help decide who gets the gig. Yes, the power is yours, as they would say on my favorite little show called Captain Planet. But you will get to hear from these 3 candidates, but I have to just say that this podcast is basically an instructional audio tutorial about how to vote for your favorite candidate. So you have to listen carefully and follow the instructions very carefully. This is about how to vote. This is not a popularity contest. It's also not an attempt to get, free exposure out of the people auditioning, like going, hey, come vote for me. I actually want to make it quite hard to vote, so only the people who really care will bother to submit. And then I don't have to count as many people, So basically, dear listeners, I want you to tune your ears in carefully, because I'm going to explain how to vote throughout this podcast. If you submit a vote and you haven't followed these instructions properly or severely misinterpreted them, I'll throw out your vote and it won't be counted. Trust me, this is going to be a vicious election process. My hot tip is for you to check out the show notes of this podcast in your podcast app or at jimmerishfm.com, where I will write out my instructions and provide links to the only avenues of contact I'll accept your votes from. Basically, I'll give you 2 ways to send in your votes, 2 electronic methods, and that'll be it. And if you don't follow instructions, boom, sorry, your vote doesn't count. So to get started, we must first listen to the 3 conversations I had with these 3 candidates, the top 3, and they have been whittled down from 50 people, and I'm really excited for you to meet them. They were really fun to talk to, and they are all 3 completely sort of different people. So it'll be quite interesting to see your thoughts on them. First up is Nina. She was the first to book an audition. She's very keen and she's ambitious. She's got some interesting ideas about how to make this podcast, this new podcast for Jimmerish FM, really interesting. And that's kind of why I selected as the first person to put out there on this special co-host search 2016. Yes. So here is Nina. Listen to her story and keep notes. Okay, hello, my name is James, and we're joined today by Nina. Hi, Nina.
Hello. Hi, James. How are you?
Now, for just some context, Nina and I are sitting on the edge of Elizabeth Quay.
Yes, we
about a week or 2 after it opened, I think. And how are you liking it so far?
You know what? There was a lot of hype about this place. And it almost lives up to it. I thought it was going to be a bit like Sydney, but I guess we've got a long way to go in Perth. Sorry, I'm just being honest.
Well, I think, all this land, they're going to build buildings around. So
there's still so much, I guess. Yeah.
Although I personally prefer like a barrier between the river and the actual concrete jungle.
Oh, yeah. So it's a bit more like you don't look back and see the...
Yeah, I'm looking forward to when actually trees grow, because at the moment, I'm sure if you come here during the day, it's just like baking hot without trees and no shade.
Yeah, that's
and stuff
true.
like that.
It would be great to have a suntanning area.
Oh, right. Yeah. We should...
You
should apply for like a suntanning class and get people in and just lay out your own fake lawn.
Okay, so we're going to teach you how to turn every 20 minutes, every 10 minutes.
You could read them books or something, I perform a play and they just listen while they suntan.
Yeah.
Nina, who are you? Where are you from?
Who am I? Okay, so most people speak to me and they guess I'm either English or American or, Aussie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I'm actually from New Zealand.
Oh, yeah.
I moved here about 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I won't go into the sob story that comes behind it, but it does turn out with a happy ending. Who am I? Well, I do modelling.
Mm-hmm.
I run my own little makeup mobile business and hopefully be your new co-host if you say yes.
Okay. So when you came here, it wasn't for work, I'm guessing.
No, it wasn't.
No, for love.
It was a relationship that was on the rocks, and we thought, moving here would be a great fresh new start kind of thing, and a month later
all right,
it crumbled.
And you decided to stay.
Yeah, I decided to stay. So did he. He found his love and I found mine, and yeah, it's worked.
So you guys go on double dates now?
No. Oh my god, how awkward.
Yeah. I don't know, it could be one of these modern...
You never know, but he's not...
That are all...
He's a very headstrong person, my ex, and I don't think that would have gone down well. Like, when he heard we were engaged, he was like, "You idiot." And I was like, "Excuse me? You're the idiot." Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. So when you get here, what kind of work were you looking for?
When I got here, it was a lucky dip. To be honest, I had no idea what I didn't know what I was going to get into. I didn't know if modelling was going to still be my thing or makeup or whatever.
So you were still doing that? You were doing that in New Zealand before?
Yeah. I studied in New Zealand my makeup artistry, and I also did my modelling as well there. So that's where I started everything.
All right, awesome.
Yeah.
So what was the first job when you got here?
My first job here was as a sales representative for a company in Mount Lawley.
Mm-hmm.
So that was, up at the dawn of God knows what time, on a bus and a train, then a bus and then into Mount Lawley, and then, working till nighttime again, and then...
Oh, well, what side of Perth are you on?
Mount Lawley. I was on West Coast Highway when I first got here.
Okay, yeah. So it was a bit of a
like
track.
most of us Kiwis, we end up in Scarborough.
Yeah.
To start off with, by the beach.
Why is that?
It's because we're from the beach. Like, where I'm from back home in Auckland, I'm from the North Shore. So, like, literally a 5-minute walk from my house is the beach. So
I never put that together, but every New Zealander I've known lives in Scarborough.
Go straight to the beach, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So is there a bit of a New Zealander community there? Like you go down to the pub and go, hey,
Pretty much.
remember back in Auckland or
Pretty much.
Christchurch?
All you got to do is just listen for the accent and you're just like, hey, are you from Auckland? Yeah, awesome. And it's just like,
Oh, so where were you from?
Auckland.
Okay. What's Auckland like?
Auckland is...
it's a bit same size as Perth, but it's like major city.
It's a major city. So it's 24/7 really. Like, I mean, not to say anything bad about the party scene, but the party scene is till at least 10 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. And I'm saying you're starting at, lunchtime the day before. So
yeah. Okay.
It's pretty full on. Yeah.
Right.
And the fashion is just out there, and it's the personalities are like, I don't care what you do, just don't, me over. Yeah. I don't know if I could swear on here or not.
Can.
So, okay. Yeah. So that's what Auckland's pretty much like.
Okay.
Yeah. Each their
own. So what do you miss about New Zealand?
The weather.
Yeah.
Like, I love the sun, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But here it's very hot. It's like extremes. Like, it's extreme cold or it's extreme heat. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
People. Nightlife. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, everything.
Yeah. Pretty much. But I do enjoy Perth. I really do. It's given me a new start and a new kind of take on life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're doing makeup. Did you say it was a mobile makeup?
Mobile makeup artistry. So what happens is you pretty much call me up and I come to you and I do it all for you.
Okay. So for any occasion?
Any occasion.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. And what kind of clients do you get?
They're pretty regular clients, just the ladies going to a fancy dinner or, a bridal or... I haven't really had any weird ones yet, but I was kind of looking forward to it.
Is it just word of mouth, or do you put ads out?
Yeah, I've got little ads here and there on Gumtree, and a few people just telling people when they've seen my work, or because I'm in the modelling industry as well. I do a lot of TFP work as well, so I go and help out on photo shoots, or I do my own shoots and for the makeup when I'm getting paid and stuff like that. So yeah,
sounds good. So what? How long have you been in Perth? 6 years?
6 years, yeah.
Okay, wow. Yeah. Okay, so you've sort of settled in.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I'm here. I'm pretty much here for good. They can't get rid of me that easy.
Okay. So, what was growing up in New Zealand like? Like, did you live in the suburbs? Were you a country girl?
I moved a lot. So, by age 6, I probably went to about 7 different primary schools. Anything ranging from, like, Southside Bronx to suburbs, and then, like... Each part of Auckland, you've got north, south, east, and west, and it's all very different. Yeah. Very different personas, very different landscapes and stuff like that. But if I had to bring it down, it would probably be half city, half country. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I lived in Auckland for schooling when I was in college, and then I moved down to the Waikato and worked and went to school down there as well. So I'm pretty much a balance of both.
Are they on different sides of the country, different islands?
Pardon me?
Are they on different islands?
No, just in the North Island.
Okay.
Yeah, but different areas, yeah.
So do you have, like, is there rivalries between the two islands?
I wouldn't say so. I just say they're very different personalities and twangs. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you ever go to the South Island?
To be honest, I've never actually been down.
Oh, wow.
I wish I had. That is part of my next plan when we do go back over. Yeah. Yeah, to just do a bit of...
So you grew up in New Zealand, but...
I only travelled the North Island.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who live in Perth who've never actually, like, gone north of Perth.
Really?
A lot of people go down south, but they never go up.
Is it true that most don't have a passport? Sorry to cut you.
I don't know. I mean, I think I heard a third of Perth was born in Britain now, so they would have a passport, I'm sure, if they came here. But yeah.
No, but I mean the ones that were actually born and bred in Perth, like they haven't actually left Australia. They've just, know.
I don't know about that because the big thing is more people go to Bali for a holiday than like Broome. So surely those people would have a passport.
Yeah, surely. But I mean the ones that haven't even been to Bali. Like I've met a lot of people recently this year that said, I said, have you been to Bali? They're like, no, but I've been to Thailand. Yeah. Excuse me?
Yeah, I took my uncle got married in France about 10 years ago. That would be coming on the 10-year anniversary. I sort of helped take my grandmother over, who was 80 beautiful. At the time. Yep. And that was the first... I think she'd been to New Zealand, but that's kind of like a state of Australia, really.
So what are you? Are you born and bred Perth?
Yeah, just white bread.
White bread. So does that make me a multigrain then?
I'm like 6 generations Australian, I'm like a quarter South Australian, 3/4 West Australian. That's my ethnicity.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
That's like someone saying I'm part North Island and part South Island.
That's what I'm saying. That's how boring it is.
Right.
Yeah. I don't have any cool Eurasian stuff going on or anything like that. So that was the first time she'd sort of left the Southern Hemisphere.
Oh, wow.
And that was a real interesting to see her. I mean, I didn't spend that much time with her, but
yeah,
it was really interesting to see her deal with that. And she was sat down with all the other grandmothers and grandfathers at the wedding table, but of course they're all speaking French and she didn't know what she was doing and she found it very stressful, but the rest of it she seemed to enjoy.
Oh, that's good.
Do you travel much?
That's what I'm working on this year.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, with my work especially. Like I've been just put up with a few campaigns from Hawaii.
Yeah.
I've got an agent that's going to be taking me over to India and stuff like that. So.
Have you been to India before?
No, not yet. So it's going to be a real culture shock.
Yeah, I hear that's like.
If you hire me, then I can tell you all about it when I come back.
Okay, sounds good. I'll note that down.
Note that we'll be travelling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have lots of stories.
Yeah, I will be. But my mother's actually Samoan German and my dad's English. So my growing up as a child was over in Samoa until about the age of 3 or 4 years old, and then it was in New Zealand after that. So,
all right.
Yeah. Okay. So I lived on the islands.
Do you remember much of Samoa?
Actually, I kind of do. Yeah, I remember being up on my nana's shoulders going through the taro plantations. Yeah. Yep. A lot of it was just really bushland, very dusty, very hot. The place we live in, you call it a fale. So it's like a house, but it's not really like a house. It's like a hut / house, if you know what I mean. Like island. Have you been to the islands before?
No, I've been to Mauritius once.
Yeah.
That's kind of like an island.
Yeah, but that's a bit more modernised, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I obviously the bits that I was in, yes, but I got the feeling that if you walked off the beaten path, you would find it quite old school. Yeah. So what? Does it have mosquito nets?
Yeah. So we slept on the floor on feather mattresses with big mosquito nets over us. Yeah. Yeah. Right outside your window is pretty much just taro plantation, so it's just like big trees everywhere, and yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
And do you have family there still?
Yeah, I still do have family there. Half my family is there, half the family's in New Zealand.
Yeah. Is that a big thing to move between like Samoa and New Zealand? Like, is that?
That's huge for them to move from Samoa to New Zealand. That's like moving from here to New York. Yeah, okay. You know? Yeah. Sorry,
so was there any jungle on the island?
Yeah, plenty of that, But I can't tell you if there was like monkeys or anything like that. I wouldn't know. Yeah. Yeah. Have you had like lots of jobs, or have you just been sticking to the makeup thing? I have had a array of jobs, mainly in like brand ambassadoring work and sales and stuff like that. And then you've got all the modelling work. Yeah. Is there anything in specific that you want to hear about?
Well, I was just like wondering if have you been to school here or like?
Not yet. That's all part of the plan this year, really. Yeah. Okay. I had about 2 years off because I actually dislocated my knee and shattered half of it.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, doing hip hop dancing.
Is that a scar?
Yeah, so the scar's there, and then it's also over here as well.
Oh.
Yep.
And do they put a little metal rod down it?
Something like that. Yeah, I couldn't actually walk for about 5-6 months, so I was bedridden. And then it took me about a year and a half to actually get back on my knee.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I took about 2 years off that. So it's really 4 years that I've kind of done anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. I had this one question. I was thinking I would have one question for each of the people auditioning, just to see what they can come up with at the top of their head. So it's a very weird question.
I've got a very weird mind. So.
Okay, so some guy or girl, some mystical creature comes up to you, and he shows you some weird stuff, so you know he's for legit. Like, you know, he can pull a hat out of his bag and it looks magical. I don't know. And he says, "Look, you've got 48 hours to live." But he gives you the hot tip that whichever building you die in, you get to haunt forever. And here's $20,000, and you can go to anywhere in the world and haunt that building, but it has to be a public building. Like, you can't haunt like your parents' house or something, so you can hang out with your family. It has to be somewhere completely public. And you've got 48 hours to get there. You've got $20K to get there.
Okay. All right. Let me think. Instantly I thought of Disneyland. I don't know why. Yeah, okay. Instantly I thought Disneyland, you know. you know, all
it
the
can
rides.
just roam around.
Yeah, pretty much. Just have fun for the rest of my dead life.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Listen in on people's conversations as they...
I'd have all the hot guys, all these celebrities that go there. My God.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
My first thought, and I haven't really put much thought into it, would be like a theatre.
Right.
Then you get to like creep on all the people in the audience, but you also get to like watch the plays. So you got free entertainment.
Yeah. I thought the same thing about Disneyland. Really.
Yeah, it's
just
very
like
similar.
The one place I would have fun. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like you wouldn't go haunted library, would you?
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're into books, but yeah, no, Disneyland.
If you could haunt, say, your top, what would be your top 5 celebrities to haunt?
Ooh.
You don't have to get to 5 if you can't think of, but maybe, whatever you can come up with.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay.
Yep.
Why?
Because he's interesting. Along with Angelina Jolie, like the same reason for both of these guys is because of the work that they do and their interests and stuff and their minds.
Yeah.
Right? It'd be great to just sit in and kind of just listen to them. Yeah, I think even though I'm a ghost, I'd be able to learn a lot.
Yeah.
You know? Gosh, who else is there? Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj, okay.
Reason being, mainly because of what I've read on Google. I don't know if this is like hearsay or if it's truth, but she does have 5 different personalities, actually.
Wow.
Right, so she's a bit of skits.
Okay.
And it would be great to see that just, in action.
Yep.
Who else? I feel like I should put someone smart in there, but I'm really not that type.
Yeah.
Like...
You want someone who's probably connected to a lot of people. Okay.
Obama would be another interesting one.
I get to find out if there's aliens exist.
And then I'd get to go, underground into the presidential house and check out all the weird tombs and stuff that are hidden under there. Yeah.
Okay. Well, he's going to be out of office soon, so who...
Well, whoever the president of America is at that stage when I die.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Who do you think... Do you think Trump will be president?
Oh, fuck, I hope not. Oh, shit.
Isn't that kind of scary to think that might actually happen? The way it's going?
There will be no America. Yeah. That place is in turmoil.
Yeah. It would be pretty crazy to be on. I imagine he's just absolutely nuts.
Completely. Yeah.
Maybe actually, you could haunt him and scare him out of office.
Oh, that'd be a great idea. I like that.
Good.
I like where you're going with that. That's good.
But then you're stuck with him for eternity, so that would suck.
Yeah, maybe. I think I'll just stick with the first 2.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yep.
Okay, Nina. Well, that's been awesome. Thanks for coming in.
We've learned
a bit about you, and what will happen is people will be listening to this, and they'll get a chance to vote for who they are. So just look at the...
Jeepers Creepers, please like me.
Yeah.
Remember, guys, I'm the first one and first one served, so please.
Turned up, on time.
So just pick me.
Yeah, pick Nina.
Do
you want to have a little pitch about kind of things you want to talk about?
Oh, God. I would really like to cover a lot of things in Perth. Mainly because I'm in the modelling industry. It'd be great to get some dirty goss.
All right.
I think as a part of the element, as an element for the show, I should say. So like I'll be going to a lot of events and stuff like that. So I can always get some behind the scenes goss that can go on here.
So the show could go viral with oh God, can you believe what they talked about?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Just bring some hype up. Yeah.
We have a lot of Korean listeners. Do you have a pitch for them?
Oh, I promise to learn some of your language and give you a new phrase.
I think
the
reason they actually listen to the radio station just on loop because they're practicing their English. And
perfect.
That's what I got a few emails saying. I love listening to your radio station just to learn English, even though it was really badly typed.
Oh God, they're going to learn a lot of bad words.
Yeah. Good.
Lots better. I'm holding back these for this audition right now.
Well, don't. Be uncensored as you like. It's the internet. There's no rules. Well, thanks, Nina, for coming out in this way. It was nice to meet you, and hopefully I'll see you again.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, James.
All right.
Okay.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye. Okay. So that was Nina. So how was that? I hope you're taking notes from these conversations because you'll need it to vote. If not, pause the podcast now and write down the things you like most about Nina's conversation with me. Okay, got your notes? Okay, it's time to move on to our next candidate. Next up on the blocks is Jessica. Jessica made the final round because she was one of the most down-to-earth applicants we had. She talks about her Macedonian heritage, but she has a great raw Australian edge to her, I think. She's super curious as well, which is something I really value. She seemed to be the person most familiar with podcasting and was keen to know more. And most importantly, as she will tell you, she loves to talk. This is Jessica. Hi.
Hi.
My name is James. You are?
Jessica. So nice to meet you, James.
Just giving context to listeners here, we're again out on the Elizabeth Quay.
Yes.
I keep wanting to call it Quay. Elizabeth Quay.
Yes, because of the way that it's spelt, I think. It's my first time here, so very pretty.
How's it living up to expectations?
Well, I haven't done the full tour yet, but from what I can see, it looks very, very beautiful. I think Perth has a long way to go, but this is definitely a start.
What's compared to what? What's
well, just
your
from
high
a few,
standard?
I guess the other cities, that I've travelled in Europe quite a bit.
Yeah.
I can't say a lot, but I'm born here, but my mother and father are Macedonian, and
really?
they've taken me, sort of round. I've been to Germany quite a few times. One thing that I find about Perth is the buildings aren't high enough.
Yeah. Oh, right. They're really high in Macedonia.
Yeah, well, not in Macedonia, just in Germany, and I've been to Switzerland, a few places like that, and they are quite, high.
I heard, I don't know if it's true anymore, but the Central Park, this tower here, is as high as buildings get in Perth because it's basically a swamp. And if you build anything heavier than that, it'll actually sink into the river.
Oh, you're joking.
So that's like as high as I'll ever get, maybe, unless they have some crazy new technology come along.
Is that as high as they'll get in WA or you?
Just in Perth.
Just in Perth.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. No, I've never heard that before.
But that was back in 1991 when it was built. They may have fancy new technology now.
I'd hope.
I heard that Chicago is both just as even windier than Perth and is on a lake. And they have difficulty keeping buildings. And that's got one of the tallest buildings in the world. But
I'd love to go there.
But maybe
I haven't been there yet.
Got some fancy American technology that we don't have in Perth. Yeah.
Of course. Well, America.
Have you been to America?
I haven't, and I'm planning to go soon. Actually, I'd like to go within the next year or two, just because America, I guess, is that one place you sort of have to go and see. Have you yourself?
No.
Been?
No. I'm gonna. If I can do my best, I'm never gonna go.
You're never gonna go. Why is that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I might have to, my other hobby is making films and stuff, and so if I have to travel for that, then obviously I'll have to go, but I'd rather not go if I can avoid it.
Oh, really? Oh, see, everyone I speak to says, I have to go to America. That's the one place that you have to see. I guess it is so highly spoken about, so I guess
you
that's
can go to
why.
Canada, it's the same continent, but it's,
I guess,
less crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of, I know.
Less likely to be shot.
Yeah, don't even.
My brother went, and he literally, one of the people he stayed with, like a week after he came back to Perth, was shot dead. And I was just like...
Oh, is this a joke?
No.
Are you serious?
It's just because I'd always talked about, you're going to get shot when you go over there. And he came back alive. He's like, yeah, see, I didn't get shot. And then like a week later, he's like, oh, yeah, so the mate I met over there, he was killed the other day in a drive-by shooting at a petrol station or something.
Oh, my God.
Just filling up his car. He was involved in crimes, the thing. It was just in the crossfire of some burglary at a...
See, that's the one thing that I'm just mortified about going there is, will I get shot? That's the question. When you think of America, you think, will I get shot? I just don't think that I don't understand their gun, laws or so on there. Just so much has happened. And... I understand that it's a money-making thing, and that's obviously why they do it.
That's, they love it. It's part of their culture. Is that America's this place where you either starve or you're like insanely rich, and you either die of painkillers, overdosing on painkillers, or get shot dead. Like that's how you die there. They're obsessed with the extremes. It's like there's no in between. You either. Do
you think that it may be due to?
That's generalizing for a whole country, but it does. Yeah. And compared to like Canada, New Zealand, Australia, England, the other English-speaking white countries, it's just such a huge difference.
It's highly known for that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just you always hear horrendous stories about everything that's happening in America, and that may just be due to the media, and that's probably just maybe what we're hearing, just because of... Sometimes I feel like the media can definitely, let us know about certain things that they want us to know about, and then certain things are totally left out. So, but I don't know. I think, could it possibly be because of the celebrities?
But they love the celebrities. Everyone's goes there. You would, you do it. I was going to get into like how you came to be here, but like, are you just instant radio, or do you do acting and modeling or anything like that?
No, I don't.
Why were you on Star Now?
Why was I on Star Now? Okay, so my brother had seen it, and I said, okay, I'll go on. I haven't really gone out there, I guess.
That's where I placed the ad for this audition.
Yeah.
For people who don't know what Star Now is, it's like I don't know what it's like for other people on the other side, because I only do auditions for films and this kind of thing, so I don't know what it's like for people looking for jobs.
Oh, well, they've sort of got a whole bunch of different stuff on there, you know, to acting, to Broadway, to, you know, radio and all sorts of different stuff. But I haven't looked in too much into it, just because a lot of the stuff is obviously... I'm not sure whether or not to believe it, because you hear some horrible, you know, stories about sometimes, you know, I've heard, you know, like, oh, meet strange people,
like me. I'm like, meet me at the Key this time and look out for a Hawaiian shirt.
Yes. Well, that's how you actually messaged me, isn't it? I'm going to be the crazy guy in the Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah. People who know me listen to this go, yes, that's James. No, well, normally if I was a film, I would have like, you know, I usually rent out a room at FTI, the Film and Television Institute, and stuff for auditions, but I kind of wanted this to be like you dropped in the zone, because I kind of want to do the show, be able to do the show anywhere. Like, okay, let's go here and record the show. You know?
Absolutely.
Okay, so what were you looking for on Star? You didn't know.
Obviously, I'm very interested in, you know, radio and podcasts, because, you know, I've been told many times I don't shut up.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, could come in handy. But I'm a really people person, and, you know, up until not too long ago, I was working in a law firm doing secretary work, and law firms are really boring. And... And lawyers are a specific breed, is what I like to call them. They live in their certain world and certain lifestyles. So I think, you know, I enjoyed it for that time being, but as I'm getting older, I'm just trying to figure out who I am. So I thought I'd go on to Star Now and see if there's any, you know, opportunities available there, and see, you know, just do some research on who I am.
So how many things did you apply for? Like?
Not really much, because not a lot is interesting to me at the moment.
Yeah. All right.
So we'll see how we go.
You just browsing.
I'm browsing.
You're like in the shop.
Yes.
Like seeing what's happening.
I'm browsing.
Okay, let's go back in time. Okay, you were born, in Perth?
Yes.
But your parents from Macedonia, are they...
Yes.
So they came here...
A long time. Okay,
long time ago?
Mum she came here, as far as I know, when she was 2 years old.
Your dad didn't? They didn't come together?
No, my dad didn't, no. So my mother came here when she was 2 years old, so she basically calls herself, you know, Australian, because that's all she knows.
Yeah.
And she went overseas after that as a part of our tradition. A lot of people in Macedonia, actually, that come here go overseas and get married to another Macedonian.
Yeah.
I myself am not following in that tradition, because I've been born and raised here, and I'm actually dating an Australian. But my father and mother are Macedonian, and they were both born there. So, yeah, then my dad came here. I think he was 21 or 22 years old, and he's now been here for a little over 25 years. So, yeah. But my dad still has that harsh accent. Mum, you wouldn't be able to tell, but my dad is very...
So what do they meet at the Maso community meetups?
Yes. There's a lot of communities.
I think there's one around the corner from me, and my other Macedonian friends always talk about the community is really strong. You know?
Oh, yeah. There's like thousands.
Do you get put in that, or you're too far removed?
No, I like to keep within the community, but I think I also, you know, I get in, then I get out, and I get in. You know, I like to... You know, I don't really stick to just one community. I have all sorts of, you know, different friends that are from different cultures and backgrounds, and I love that, because I learn so much, you know, about different people. So, and their, you know, their upbringings and so on. So I had a specific upbringing, because obviously both my parents were from Macedonia, but luckily, I say thank God that my mother came here, because I would, you know, I love that place, but I don't know if I could live there. Their lifestyle is just so different to what, you know, Australians are like. They're very strict, and I think a lot of cultures these days have quite a strict, you know, upbringing. So thankfully, I was, allowed to
Perth is like a little bubble because it's Australia, but it's completely separated. It's, Perth, Australian culture, but it's, land-wise, completely isolated from the rest of Australia. And,
we're so
jumping
far.
on a plane to Melbourne is a big deal. Rather than if you were in Sydney, you're just like, I'll pop over to Melbourne for just an hour and come back.
No, I know. Do you know what? When I went to Melbourne not too long ago, I actually completely forgot to go down to Sydney because I didn't even realise that it was a half an hour or an hour flight.
Yeah. I don't know what the tickets... I remember at a point that there was tickets like $50, which is the same as like a ferry to Rottnest, or something. But
no, a ferry to Rottnest, I was actually looking not too long ago. It's like $80 or $90.
Oh, right. See, all this inflation.
That is so expensive.
Yeah.
I remember when it was really cheap. I used to go all the time growing up. I remember my mum and dad always taking me, but now it's just, what is happening?
Mm-hmm. So you were born, and then where'd you go to school?
I went to school, so I went to 2 different schools. This is high school I'm talking about. So in primary, I went to Balga. I went to Balga Primary School, which is north if you are a south boy.
Yeah.
And then...
It's in Westminster?
Yes. So yes, it's Westminster, yes.
I go there for work sometimes.
Oh, really?
The Sterling Shopping Centre?
Yes,
okay.
yeah.
Yes, I go to the post office there to pick up some mail.
Yes, they do. Yes. Well, I used to go there.
And hang out?
Yeah.
Get a shake?
Yeah. Balga's got a certain reputation for it, I think.
I've never seen it. I have my cousin lives there, and she just lives there because she's, invested in property there. And I don't know. It has this reputation. I go there every day for work, but I haven't seen it because maybe I go there during the day where it's all smart and fancy. I
will tell you, Balga. So I lived there all my childhood. Recently moved about a year ago. But all my childhood I've lived in Balga, and you hear the horrendous stories. Yes, about 20 years ago it was quite bad. When I say quite bad, I'm not talking like it was the Bronx, but I guess that's what you sort of would call it for Perth. Just because there was a pub, in a residential area, and it got a little rowdy at times. But I was raised there. I don't have too many crazy stories. I do have a few, but it's mellowed down a lot. So that's where I used to go to school. My primary school is there. And
was that walking distance? Or
yes, it was walking distance. Probably about a 10-minite walk.
Is that what you did, or do you get driven?
I got driven to work.
Okay.
I'm not very exercise worthy.
Oh, right. Even 10 minutes? Oh.
No, look, obviously I did.
But as a kid, weren't you like roaming the streets causing havoc?
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. But because of it being Balga back then, my parents weren't too...
Okay.
happy for me to just walk by myself on the street, just because there was actually a time when I was in primary school that a man, I remember in a yellow car, he drove up to me, gave me a very scary look, did a burnout. I started running for my life, and then he drove off, and then as I continued to walk, he actually drove back around and did the exact same thing to scare me. So I don't know if that was just a horrible joke that he was playing on a young girl, or what was going on there. But anyway, gone from there now.
So where to next?
So now I'm in Lansdale.
I don't know where that is.
You don't know where that is? Okay, so it's about a 5-10 minute drive down from Joondalup.
Okay. All right, so north.
Yes, so I'm north. Yeah, so now I'm in Lansdale.
Is that Joondalup a hub? Do you just hang out? You said you didn't come down here very often.
Yeah, no, because I used to work in the city, but this is going back a few years ago, and I haven't been to the city in a while, and I haven't been to Elizabeth Quay because since it opened, was it like a week ago or something?
Yeah,
the grand opening?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, look, I don't hang out at Joondalup either.
Yeah.
You know what? Sometimes I can be quite boring.
Antisocial?
No, it's not that I'm antisocial. I think lately it's like you said, everything's just getting so expensive and, so on. Yeah. And if I do go out, it's more so socialising, going to a friend's house, having a few drinks, watching movies, that sort of stuff. When I worked in the city, and I definitely went, did the whole Friday night pub crawls, so on. Need to get back into that.
Where did you meet your partner then?
My partner, okay, so where did I meet him? Oh, through the community, believe it or not. He hung out with some Macedonian friends of mine.
Okay, here we go.
Yes.
That's how it goes.
Yes.
Like your parents.
Yeah, well, he hung out with some of the Macedonian friends, and I was actually at one of the Macedonian communities in Balcata, and he was there, and he fancied me, and we got to chatting, and one thing led to another, and it's been 8 years since then.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I was 16 years old when I met him.
Oh, right. So is he your high school sweetheart?
We didn't go to the same high school.
Oh, right. Okay.
But I was in high school.
Did you go to the ball together?
We did go to the ball together.
Right, okay.
Yes, he's a high school dropout. He's a tradie. He's a plasterer.
Right.
We did go to the ball together,
older
though. He's only a year and a half older than me. So not too bad.
So you went to school in Lansdale?
No. Sorry, I went high school in Warwick and Mirrabooka.
Okay. All right.
Surely you know where Mirrabooka is.
That's where you got ice skating, right?
I sound like I'm the ghetto girl. No. Ice skating, yes, there is there still ice skating in Mirrabooka? I think they might have taken it out.
I drove past a building that looked like an ice place near there when I was working. I don't know if it's open, it may be closed, maybe derelict, and just because it says Perth Ice Arena.
I used to go to the ice arena all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so every Friday or Saturday night when I was younger, that's where I used to go. I know that they've shut that one down unless they've moved it to somewhere else. I know that there's one in Balladura now, so that one is no longer there.
Okay. And then what? What did you do after school finishes? What were you hoping to do? Did you TE or did you do what subject?
No, so I went to TAFE.
TE, that's how old I am. I don't know if that's what
I don't think it's called TE anymore.
Yeah.
No, I went to TAFE, so I graduated high school and then I went to TAFE and
But had you
studied.
picked that path earlier, like in year 10, and then you had to...
Do you know what? It was weird.
Or did you not decide until we finished?
I wanted to be, a nurse for such a long time. And until I realised I can't stand blood.
Oh, right, okay.
So that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah,
that does happen. So I just was flicking through a book. I remember in Warwick Senior High School, I was flicking through a book and I said to myself, okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I saw law. And I thought, okay, I'm quite interested in, topics of, the law and WA stuff and so on. So I thought, okay, I'll go and do a legal studies course. So I did the legal studies course, and during that time period I actually got a position at a law firm in Mount Lawley, just doing junior sort of work, and I quite liked it, but I got a promotion and I ended up coming into the city, and since then I've worked in the city for about 4 years, I think, at a law firm just doing legal secretary work, and then it was a sort of back and forth for me as to whether or not to go into university and actually study to be a solicitor. Yeah. So, I don't know what happened there. I sort of lost track of myself. And now I'm in a pickle. Because now I'm sort of just in temp jobs, trying to figure out what it is that I want to do. I'm in this rut at the moment where I'm sort of like, who am I and what do I want to do for the rest of my life?
Yeah, okay.
So that's where I'm at.
All right, so you've given up on the legal stuff.
I still like it, but essentially I've given up on it. Just
Did you ever work in the courts?
Would I ever work, sorry? In
the courts, like as a person that...
I've thought of that, but this seems a little... I just think the subject is interesting, but then I think the environment at times can be totally different to what you...
So what kind of temp jobs have you had to do?
Just office stuff, just administration.
Oh, really? And so you're with a temp agency?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they just say, hey, come out to this place.
Yes.
So what's that like? Because I have my day job, I have like a little, sort of like a mail round, kind of like a postman. I deliver to a lot of receptionists and you get a lot of temp receptionists. I'm always wondering, it's like you come in, is it a similar system? You have to sit there and work it out? Kind of, yeah. So basically they give you a quick half an hour to an hour, if you're lucky 2 hour rundown of what's happening. And then you got to sit there and figure it out because they just don't have the time to let you know exactly how to do things. But then I think that's also not good because if you make a mistake, it's not, it's not like you've done it because there's nobody sitting behind you to tell you whether or not you've done it
correctly or not. So it's sort of, you have to figure it out for yourself. So sometimes that can be interesting just because you're never bored because you've got so many different things, you know, that you're running to. But then it's also not very stable. So, yeah, some people like the fact that they can run from this office to another office or whatever, have different things to do. But then there's a time where you sort of want stability.
Yeah.
And it's not, you know, something I would suggest if someone wants.
Do you ever make friends?
Stability. Absolutely. You definitely do.
How long
but then
what's the longest you stay at one place?
I've stayed the longest 3 weeks, so it's not really that long. But you do definitely, you know, click with some people, obviously. You know, keep in contact with a lot of them now. But even still, you know, sometimes you make enemies.
You've made enemies?
No, not enemies. I think some people are, you know, a bit funny to tempt people because, you know, I like to think I'm really friendly and I want to, you know, if I need help, I'd prefer to ask for it than just try and sit there and do nothing the whole time. So some people take offence to bothering them, and that's what I mean by some office places, in particular law firms or accounting firms, I should say. There's some vicious people out there.
I guess you have to be pretty vicious to want those kind of jobs, I guess. Actually, I don't know about accounting, but law firms for sure. I was just going to note that I haven't been here at night before, and it's all being lit up, Elizabeth Quay, all the lights. And
it's beautiful. Oh my gosh,
lights and the bridges and stuff.
It's shining.
There's a lot of people here.
Gonna have
I guess they're having that laser show. That's why all those people are on that other.
There's a lot of people here.
Yeah.
My gosh. Then maybe there's an event or something going on.
I know they have some laser show, but I don't think it's like a fancy... I think it's something they do every night.
Oh, is that like the thing that they do here? Is it the Perth place
I think it's really dumb because I went to... the one at Singapore, which is on a much bigger scale, is dumb. And this one looks tiny, so I don't see how it's going to be better than the one in Singapore, which was pretty dumb. I don't know.
I don't remember the one. I've been to Singapore, and I don't remember seeing...
You know that big building that looks like a bridge that they have fire lasers down to things on the water and stuff like that?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You have to go there at like... It's at 7 p.m. every night or something, or whenever it gets dark.
See, are we just stealing things from different...
And making it smaller?
places,
We've got these little inflatable balloons that are going to have lasers in them, but...
I think
I think that's a weird thing about Perth. Like, it's kind of the actual place itself is fine as it is. They don't need I mean, I guess this is kind of cool because it wasn't a place like this down the river. You had to go to Fremantle if you kind of wanted this kind of atmosphere.
Well, yeah, because that was the only place to sort of see this sort of stuff, wasn't it? Look, we're expanding.
It doesn't bother me because I would just bring, like, literally, I've done a podcast on the other side of the river. I just set up there's a little beach over there, and you can set up a deck chairs and just watch the city lights and to record a podcast over there. So, you know, I would go anywhere. Don't really need a place, but I guess this is bringing Perth together, man. And with the Fringe Festival,
it is.
Exciting times. Have you been to
the Fringe?
Are you doing any shows?
So, no, but I went to the Fringe Festival last week. I just had a quick stroll around. Didn't get to go into any other shows, but it looked awesome. I saw a lot of burlesque dancers, you know, sort of very old school, you know, 60s looking ladies and men, and it looked very cool, but unfortunately I didn't get into any other shows. But it's pretty good, actually. They've got stuff till around 11:30 at night, some shows, so definitely if anyone's interested.
I'm going to a show tomorrow night, but that's the only one I've bought tickets for just because an actor friend's in it. I never know what to go to. It's too much choice. I have that problem.
They have got a lot of choices. See, by the time I tried to figure out what one I wanted to look at and go and see,
it was sold out.
I was like, oh my God, there's so many options. Yeah. They stopped, you know, it ended. So it's great. It's definitely something. Yeah. Which one are you going to go to? The North Bridge or the city? I think it's
at the Art Gallery in Art Gallery WA.
Oh, cool. Yeah. No, I didn't go to that one. I went to the one in North Bridge. That one was pretty cool. You should check that one out.
Yeah. So to finish out your mini biography, so you've nursing is out because there's too much blood.
Yes.
What are your top 5 things you're looking at getting into?
Do you know what? I should ask myself that question.
Write a list.
But I haven't. Thing is, I thought of nursing. Why? Because I like to help people and care for people, but then I don't like blood.
Yeah.
law because I like to discuss certain topics, on WA laws, and, I like to read about certain crazy stuff that is going on here. I'm not scared of much. I used to read horrendous stories about certain murders and, not to freak anyone out, but, it is tough to hear that stuff, but I was told when I first started in law that it's going to happen whether you read it or not, so you just have to be tough and stick it out, and that's what I did. I saw people cry when they read stuff, so it's emotional. But anyway, look, I don't know, I have to ask myself top 5. I might have to get back to you on that one.
Outside of work, what do you spend your money on? Like,
what do I spend my money on? I don't know. I'm Macedonian, so I save a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
What do I spend my money on?
Buying a big house or?
Yes.
Do you spend a lot of time on realestate.com.au?
Yes, I am. I'm one of those. Oh my God. Do you know what's funny? I've recently been looking into getting into real estate just because I really want to buy a house. I want to learn more about, the market. So I definitely keep up to date. I read a lot of papers.
There's one, write that down on your list.
Sorry?
Real estate on your list. Real estate investment.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Or real estate agent.
Yeah.
That's one thing for your list.
Real estate or even property managing or Elisa. Definitely would like to
Isn't
get
property
into
managing, you have to go beat up the people who are trashing houses? Yeah.
Kind of, but then I think, oh God, can I do something like that? I'm not quite sure the full field in it. I have been told that it can be a messy job, but I wonder if that would be interesting though, You'd always be, on your toes trying to figure out.
With the legal job, did you have to hang out some criminals?
Yes.
Yeah, was that fun? Did you meet any friends?
No, not friends. Oh gosh, I'm not a criminal.
You wouldn't go, that guy's kind of hot. He's a baddie.
I actually had to visit one. I went to, I can't remember what the prison was called. It was a men's prison. Oh, it was so far away.
Casuarina?
Casuarina, yeah. Casuarina? Yeah, I think I went to that one, and then Hakea as well. So Hakea is like a remand centre, and that's where a lot of, that's where people go, to get remanded whilst their sentence is, being decided. They also get viewed psychologically, so they try and figure out where to place them, because they've got certain prisons where all the psychos are, and then certain prisons where it's just like haven't paid your tax, or because you're not going to put someone who hasn't paid tax in with, a murderer or a rapist.
Yeah.
So, that's why they have psychologists in there to really examine where to put them.
Yeah.
So there is interesting subjects and stuff. So I'm really into all sorts of different things. I like to just read, and I'm just an information leaflet. I want to know about everything. So I don't know if I could ever just have like one job.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that weird? Does that make me weird?
I think that's a good idea.
I don't know. People always say, oh my God, everything I ask you have an answer for. And I'm like, it's not that I have an answer for it. I just if I don't have an answer for it, I will go home that night, Google it, and find out what is going on.
Sounds good. So you're just saving up for some property. Is there anything else? Like, do you buy books or
I love movies. Oh my God,
TV
I love movies.
Shows.
I love movies. My partner's very into superheroes. I love music. I like singing. I'm not a great singer, but I like to sing in the shower. I definitely love movies. Even, I'm a huge celebrity geek as well. I like to know about what's going on with every single person in, the celebrity world. It's funny because I range from all sorts of different, I just want to know about everything.
Yeah. Sounds good. That's good for this role. Okay, so I was thinking I'm going to have one question for every one of the people auditioning at the end, and you just needed to give an answer off the top of your head. You don't have to think about it too much, and it's a really weird question.
Okay.
Okay, so some weird guy comes up to you and he's like, "Yo, I'm magical. I know everything," and he does a fancy trick and like turns the sky green just to prove it. And you're like, "Oh damn, this guy's for real." And he's like, "I got bad news for you. You're gonna die in 48 hours. But the good news is, if there is any good news, whichever building you die in, you get to haunt forever, and I'll give you enough money to travel anywhere in the world in the 48 hours. So if it's on the other side of the world and you need a supersonic jet to get there, I'll pay for it, don't worry. But you just have to die in that building, and you get to haunt it forever. But it has to be a public building. You can't be like, oh, I want to die in my family's home, so I get to hang out with my family. It has to be somewhere strange.
So I have to pick a building?
Yeah, like a public building.
Oh, okay.
Or a public place.
Oh, wow. Okay. For some reason, the first thing I thought of is library, but that sounds really boring.
Because you get to, I guess you can read all the books at night when people aren't around.
Yeah, you could haunt people, you know. That would, because you said I get to haunt people. Yeah. So if I would haunt anyone, I'd haunt all the little geeky people at the library. Yeah. When they're reading all books and so on, especially if they were reading scary books. I would love to haunt people.
That sounds good.
I reckon if I die, I would want to be a ghost. And
what library? You can go to any library in the world.
Oh, can I go to any library?
Mm-hmm. Go to a big fancy one or just a local
I want to go to. I want to go into the. Is there a CBD library?
Yeah, in Perth.
Yeah,
not like the big one in New York or.
Oh, anywhere? Not in Perth? Oh no, I'd go to America. Absolutely.
Definitely America. What city? Los Angeles.
I'd go.
New York.
Nah, I'd go to
Seattle,
New York.
San Francisco.
Nah, I'd go to New York. New York or San Francisco.
Yeah.
Because growing up, I loved Charmed. And that's where Charmed was made.
In San Francisco?
Yeah, okay. It was. It's San Fran.
And Full House?
Was Full House made there as well?
I think that's why it's famous for. Like, that's how I know what San Fran. Before,
well, where was Friends made in New York?
Friends was New York.
Yeah, see, I'm a huge Friends fan.
Yeah.
Friends, Charmed, Sex and the City, you name it, I watch it every single day.
Okay, sounds good.
Yes, I'm a little odd. I watch way too much series. I was watching so much of Will and Grace last night. I went to bed very late.
You're binging.
Yes, yeah. I was binging.
What's that? Is that what pitch Will and Grace? Like what's
pitch Will and Grace?
Yeah,
wait, you've never seen Will and Grace?
I've seen bits and pieces of it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so basically Will and Grace is a story about gay people.
Yeah. But why do you like watching it? Like, because it's funny, or you like the relationships?
I love the relationships. Yeah. They're best friends, so it's 4 best friends.
Yeah.
And Will and Grace it's called Will and Grace because the 2 main characters are Will and Grace. Yeah. And Will is, a gay person who was dating Grace at a younger age, but he couldn't, he came out to her that he was gay, and ever since then they were best friends. I don't remember the first episode. Oh, right. I think I remember seeing, scenes down the track that, that did happen at the start. So I assume that's how it started, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, so then they became best friends. It's basically this story about them. Then 2 other characters join on, and they're absolutely hilarious. And you know what I find interesting about that is that Will and Grace is such an old show, and I guess gay people weren't spoken about as much back then, and now it's almost popular.
Yeah.
It's the social thing. And I have so many, gay friends, and I love them to bits. So I love this show because it reminds me of my relationship with my gay friends.
Yeah. Okay. So you've seen the whole thing before and you're watching it again, or this is the first time you've watched it?
No, Will and Grace, I was watching it last night, but I don't watch Will and Grace all the time like I would watch Friends. See, I know everything about Friends. I know Sex and the City, Charmed. I've recorded every single episode since I was a child. I'm obsessed with Charmed. Till today I watch it, and they've still got repeats. That's how I know it's such a good show, because it is amazing.
Like at Halloween, do you dress up as one of the Charmed characters?
As a Charmed person? No, I don't.
Do they have outfits?
I don't think anyone would know, because they weren't witches clothes. That were, they just wore normal clothes. So
there's no episode where they go crazy and have some crazy costume?
Yes, they definitely had frantic costumes. Gosh, they were witches. They got turned into all sorts of different things. They got turned into banshees and everything. Werewolves, you name it.
All right.
Dingoes. No, they didn't get turned into dingoes. I'm joking.
Awesome.
That's a little Aussie spin on there. If you pick that up.
I'm surprised they didn't have a Dingo Ate My Baby episode.
No.
Australia special. They have to travel here and get sponsored by Qantas to come here, like Modern Family.
Yeah, I know. Oh, Modern Family. I love Modern Family.
Okay, final thing. This is, if you make the finals, people will be listening to this. The listeners of the show or the radio station, because we don't have a name. I don't have a name for the new show that this will be for. But what's your pitch? Do you have a little pitch for them? What kind of things do you like talking about?
Okay, what's my pitch? See, I'm endless. So my pitch would probably be I could talk about everything and anything. Any questions I would like to discuss. Politics,
So you like to take listener questions if they email it in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Oh my God, I just want to talk. Give me things to talk about and I will go home and Google them.
Yeah, sounds good.
I used
to do a relationship advice show, and we only made like 9 episodes, but this was like 5 years ago, and people still download it. Like, it's got more downloads than any other show I've ever done, and I've never. Oh my gosh,
awesome!
It's really weird because I guess people must go Google Perth relationship show, and it must be come up or something, because I don't know where all the downloads come.
Oh, awesome! I'll have to watch it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's any good.
Oh,
maybe that's what we should revive. If you come on board,
definitely
bring it back to life.
Woo! Vote for me.
Yep, thanks for coming in. It was nice meeting you.
Thank you so much. Lovely to meet you too.
Okay, so what did you think of Jessica? Those playing along, I hope you have jotted down any notes you have about what you liked about Jessica's interview. These notes will be very important, to help you decide what you liked about each of the candidates. Next up, we have our very last person in this top 3. And her name is Tania, or Teddy. She's still deciding on what her podcast name will be. But when you vote, you can vote for her as Tania. Tania was the most punctual of the applicants, which I mentioned because the whole purpose of this project is to get Jimmerish FM shows out more consistently. She also seems to have almost zero qualms at all about sharing her life with the World Wide Web. And as you will hear right now, she loves to chat. This is Tania. Hi, my name is James, and James. Your name is?
Tania. I'm Tania. It's a really glamorous name, I know.
Tania is auditioning to be the new co-host of Jimmerish FM, or whatever comes out of that project. You
can also call me Teddy, just so you know.
Teddy.
I'm trying to make it work. Since no one knows me here, you don't know me. It can suit, right?
Here as in Perth, or just here on this park bench?
Well, on this park bench. So between me and you. Teddy.
This is going to be your internet stage name.
I feel like I'm going to make it work. Some people are like, it's not going to happen. It's going to happen.
Okay. Is that going to be your stage acting musical stage name?
No.
It's your DJ street cred name.
It's my street cred name. I feel like it can be my podcast name. I don't think it's that awful. I don't know. I think it's kind of cute.
It's good because then if you have your own internet name, then creepers will... it makes it harder for them to stalk you.
This is true. And then you have a case of mistaken identity.
Yeah.
I don't know who I am anymore. I'm Teddy. Am I Tania? What is life? I mean, if my name was Theodora, it would. I mean, I joked.
Your name is Theodora.
No, I said if my name was.
Okay.
So I'm Macedonian.
Yeah.
And
wow, we're getting a lot of Macedonians coming for this.
Really?
Yes.
Oh God, we all must talk a lot. But Theodora is quite a popular name, and I figure if my name was ever Theodora, then I could coin Teddy, right? Theodore Roosevelt.
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to say it on the thing, but you had a different name. Your email had a different name to your...
It did, yes. So that's my stage name.
Internet name, my stage name, okay.
That is my stage name. That's what I'm trying to use unless I make up a different one. Might spell it with a J.
All right, okay. Okay, so... Just generally... you started telling me your life story straight away before we started recording, but for the listeners... Because what I'll probably do is the people I like the best, I'll put them up their little interviews online, and the viewers can write in or vote. I'm not sure what I think I'm going to have a little thing they have to actually... I'm going to make it hard so you can't just spam it. It's going to be you have to write one sentence about why you like this person to be the next host of Jimmerish FM.
Vote for me.
Yeah.
Subliminal messaging. So
I just want to give them a bit of a background about who you are.
Yes.
You're Tania, or Teddy.
Thank you, yes.
AKA Teddy.
Yes.
The T-Dubs.
T-Dog. Yeah, I go by T-Dog also. T... yeah.
I put this up on a sort of acting sort of talent recruitment page.
Where the weirdos live.
Why were you on there? What were you looking for?
Well, I am a performer, so I do music theatre. So I sing, I dance, I act. love them all individually. So I kind of was just on there looking for different things. But I done broke my knee. No, it's not that bad. I have a meniscal tear, so it's all right. Yeah. But I need surgery, so I'm kind of taking it a bit easier this year with the study and just looking for other things to do. So this popped up and I thought, this sounds cool. Let's apply.
And you're saying it's going to take, like, you're on a waiting list to get it done?
Yeah,
or you're just saving up to pay for it?
Either or, to be honest, because I have no idea. If I had private insurance, but that's just
right. So Medicare's like, it's not essential.
No, lost. I mean, I don't know. And I mean, it's my career. I mean, it's different if a guy that worked at a desk went in and was like, hey, but I mean, so I'm just in waiting. Yeah. But yeah, so let's not dwell on that.
Sorry to bring you down.
Oh, no.
And so what were you doing before the injury?
I was doing a diploma. I lie. A diploma of performing arts. Yeah. Last year, so I got to just literally. I was there for about 50 hours a week and dancing every day, at least 3 hours, weights, singing, acting. It was amazing. It was good. Teaches you a whole other kind of discipline. So, yeah.
Have you been doing that since like school? Or you've been doing
I've always been into it. I've kind of just always just done it bits here and there, like amateur level, and I'm a little older now, so I was like, well, I lived in London for 2 years. My accent's really weird. If anyone notices, I apologise and it might annoy you. But it's my best friend was Canadian in London, and we worked together and saw each other basically every day. Yeah. And then lived with British people, and I mimic really easily. So
right.
Yes, so my accent has copped some of that. But yeah, so wait, I digressed. Where did I go? Where was I going with this?
I was going to agree with I was just thinking about this before we came in. Coincidentally, there's a lady at work who's really very good at her job in terms of customer service and makes me feel like I'm her best friend in the world. But she's Irish. And I keep on tempted to talk back to her in her accent. It's just something subconscious that I don't know.
No, like from the north? Or
I think so. I'm pretty sure, I'm just hoping
Belfast.
It's not going to be
I like
Scottish.
To do accents.
That's the embarrassing thing to get.
See, I do it the opposite way. Every time I try to be Scottish, I go to being Irish.
Yeah, okay.
It's awful, I'm sorry. But I like accents, so you can cop some of that if I'm going to be talking.
Yeah. So I'm worried one day I'm going to walk in and be like, "How me lassie? How you going?"
It's more like, y'all, how y'all doing? Good. Yeah, we get some like barbecued like fried ribs.
Yeah. So okay, let's go back in time. I can't remember what we were talking about before we went off.
Last year, and then.
You're doing music.
Music, yes. Oh no, wait.
Musical theatre.
Where I started doing it. That was the question. Yes. And I kind of just came back from London and was a bit like, what do I do with my life? And yes, I always I actually did like hip hop dancing mostly the past couple of years. So this was the first year, last year when I did ballet and tap and all that stuff. So. And I just thought if you don't try now and see how you go, then you'll always be angry at yourself, and just went for it and loved it. And
what were you doing in London?
I was actually a course advisor at a university.
Oh, right. Yes. So is it like a working holiday, or you went there for that job?
Working holiday. Yeah. But my Canadian friend, who I met in Ireland, she helped me get the job, actually, which was awesome. So I got to kind of work my way up, and I was a course advisor for a couple of years, which was great. I really liked it. It's just 2 years passed, didn't get married, didn't get a passport.
Oh, right. Were you hunting?
Oh, yeah.
Any close calls?
I had many stories. No, actually, no. The first year I was
if I was like a girl and I was young and in London and I wanted a car, I'd just be like, I'm sure if you asked enough guys, one of them would say yes.
Yeah.
And I bet you this is the first one.
Yeah.
It's not a side
I tried to... Yeah, well, that's the problem. I tried to get my housemates to marry me. Yeah. And he tried... Oh, can I swear on this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, he tried to pull the bullshit of, I want to marry for love. I'm like, what the fuck? Where did this come from, man? We've lived together for 2 years. I'm sure you've tried to jump me at one point. We can
get on board.
A commitment.
Get on board
and then I tried the lesbian track.
Teddy train?
The Teddy train. Yeah. The Teddy train to, what's the...
So you can get married to a woman? You got distracted me right now.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. In London, I don't know how they go about that. Okay. But I have no idea. But yeah, so I tried. Now, the first year I was how lovely would it be to have a British boyfriend with cute little glasses and dresses like a hipster, all the ones I see on the tube, fabulous. Bat my eyelashes at them, see what comes across. And then nothing. So after the first year, I was like, well, this is just fucking sad. Because then if I leave in like less than a year, it's a bit depressing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I had an ex-boyfriend that was South African that lived like kind of north of London. So I didn't really see him except for like once or twice. And yeah, but other than that, like I dated people.
An ex-boyfriend that you actually met in London?
I met him in Scotland, and
while during your 2 years?
No, when I first travelled by myself, right. and then we tried the long distance thing and didn't really work.
So did you go to London trying to get him back?
No, actually, because he was in South Africa at the time, and then he came back. He's very studious, so he came back and he went back to Durham. And his name's LaRue. So, oh God, yeah. Which sounds fake. When I met him in Scotland, I was like, you're not real. LaRue? Yeah, I'm like, you're not real. His sister tried to be his wingman as well. It was fabulous. And she's like, he studies philosophy. He plays the guitar. I'm like, that's it. I want to jump him across the table. It's enough. It's fine. But that's not real. He's not a real person.
Okay.
I'm delirious.
So his name was LaRue?
His name's LaRue, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he'd be like, it's not...
And he's Scottish, or he just happened to be...
South African, who has dual citizenship.
Okay.
Yes. So, anyway, again, I digress. Many men.
Okay, let's go back in time. Where did you start out? Are you from Perth?
Yes. Well, no, I was born in Melbourne, and then I moved to Perth when I was about 8, and
So you actually went to school for a bit in Melbourne?
I did, yeah, for a little bit, and...
do you have Facebook friends from that era in your life?
Maybe like one.
Yeah.
Maybe one person. My cousins.
Oh, okay.
That are now old enough to have Facebook.
Yeah.
And my uncle.
So your family's from there?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the ones that aren't back in Macedonia.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we're the only Perthians.
Why Perth?
It was furthest away from Melbourne, but at the time, Perth was nothing, no man's land.
Yeah. Okay.
And. My poor 16-year-old sister was like, why are we moving to Perth?
Oh, no.
Yeah, she was a bit devastated. Whereas I'm like, tra-la-la.
Is she still in Perth now? No,
yeah, she's still here. Yeah, she's still here. She just had a baby. I have a little nephew.
Right. Yeah, see, this is the people coming to Perth and they're like, want to settle down because it is really city.
It is, though. Like, to be fair, if I grew up in Melbourne, like more my teenage years, I would have been a completely different person.
Yeah.
Like, it would have... Yeah, Perth's just mega friendly. Although I had a friend who went to Melbourne and was like, oh my God, the people are so friendly here. And I was like, well, we lived there. It wasn't quite the same case. But I'm sure if people are listening in Melbourne, I'm not hating. Just I haven't been since I was 8. So let's...
Oh, so you've never gone back?
Oh, actually, no. 13. So I still wasn't old enough to go out and appreciate nightlife.
Yeah, I haven't been since I was 17. Did go out, appreciate nightlife, but not legally. And
I never went out underage.
But see, I'm a bit of a sports nerd, so I would only go to Melbourne, if there's some kind of sports nerdy thing on.
Oh, I just want to go to Melbourne and drink coffee. That's
really?
That's what it
Everyone
seems
here
to
from
be
Perth.
Age.
I know who moved to Melbourne said their coffee's worse over there. It's
really?
more American style.
No. Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I mean, I coined a new coffee type today, actually. It's probably not that new, but just because I wanted chocolate flakes on it.
Yeah.
It was like, what did he call it? A cap mac.
Oh, right.
Because it was a long mac. And I asked for the chocolate for the top.
Okay.
I was like, yeah, I will use that. That's great. Better than me saying long mac, 3/4 top, skinny please with,
Okay.
Which just makes me sound like a pretentious bitch. I'm not, I swear. I just drink coffee twice a week and I know how I like it.
Oh, right. Just twice a week?
Yeah, because I get a buzz from it still. But I'm addicted to green tea. So
yeah, okay.
Green tea and dark chocolate is like...
Where did you settle? What area of Perth did you settle?
When we first moved here?
Yeah, like are you a south of the river
I'm
kid,
a
north of the river
Southie. I'm a Southie. I never lived north. Never.
Yeah.
Well, like southeast, south. Yeah, never lived north.
Okay.
What about you? Are you a Northie?
Yes.
Northie.
Yes, I only go south I'm on the freeway down south.
Right. Yeah, no,
a couple of times I've crossed the bridge to Fremantle's.
Fremantle's the best. I mean, generally living where I live's not too bad. It's mostly for the people that live like, let's say 20 minutes from the city north. That's when I'm like, oh my God, you live an age away. Perth's very spread out.
So like what kind of schools did you
Public school.
Public?
Yeah, public
school. So you're like a well-rounded...
I was head girl. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
in
a girl.
Primary school?
In high school.
And both, yeah.
In primary school I was faction captain.
Okay.
In high school I got head girl, which was good fun. My best mate was head boy, and he's African and he was the coolest dude, the nicest person you'll ever meet. And he's still, I just haven't seen him in a while.
But he's a sad story.
No. He's like the nicest person, and he used to get up and be like, yo, what's up? And then I'd kind of stand there and be like, hello, like
you're kind
nerdy
of his
white girl.
Flav.
Yeah, nerdy white girl next to him. Yeah, Flavor Flav. But yeah, so that was fun. And he wore, because he's like dark skin, he wore a white suit to our ball, and it was so pimpin'. It was great.
Was he your date?
He wasn't my date, but we both got king and queen.
Okay.
My dress was like emerald green.
So you got to do the dance?
We did do a dance. It was pretty sweet.
Awesome.
I really liked my dress, actually. It was just a nice colour.
Yeah.
It was like, I think like Keira Knightley in Atonement sort of thing. Although
green?
I'm that emerald green. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And although I'm not that slim, and yes, so I don't look like Keira Knightley, no. Unfortunately.
I don't think you want to be that slim.
No.
Keira Knightley is cool and all, but
this is true.
Sometimes
she's very skinny.
I worry about her.
I mean, them cheekbones, though.
Yes, well, that's what you get.
And that pout. Yeah. You just want to slice bread with that thing.
You probably can. Okay, so how was high school?
High school, was. This is a really in-depth interview. Yeah.
I'm just giving you the choice. People want to know where you come from.
Yeah. Well, high school was good. I stayed at the one high school. I've kind of always been like a talk to everybody sort of person, so I kind of just stayed out of trouble and talked to everyone and tried not to, be a massive bitch. And I feel like that can't, like, no mean girls business. I mean, there were mean girl moments, but
who were you?
Not me, but that I saw. And I mean, I got bullied when I was in primary school, so I feel like when I moved from Melbourne to here, I got bullied in primary school, and then I moved to a different primary school just before high school, like year 6 or something. So we moved house, and after that I was like, don't bullshit. Like I think I stuck my finger up at someone on the first day just because they were trying to be like a nasty person, and then after that they left me alone, and then I was just cool to be me, and then I just hated any type of bullying after that. Anyone that I saw being bullied, like left out, I despise. So I try my best to just relate to everyone. Like we used to do like peer support. Do you know peer support groups? When you so I used to love doing like all that leader stuff, and just get them to come out, all the little year 8s and stuff, and then little shells, and just be weird. Like, if anything, just encourage people to be weird. Not like crazy pervert serial killer weird, but like just that individual quirkiness that people that that they should exude with no cares at all. So
a bit of were you a bit of a hippie?
No, I wasn't. Oh, depends. I'm a bit of a hippie in general, but not like to the point where I walk around barefoot and wear toe rings.
Yeah, it wasn't like you're like free love and
no. I was not giving out free love in high school. Right. I had my heart broken in high school. Yeah, I got dumped a week before the ball.
Oh right.
Yeah, that was.
So your date to the ball was not your boyfriend?
My boyfriend of 2 years broke up with me a week before the ball. So
due to preparation tensions, like it was a bit like a marriage of stressing.
I don't know. He was in a band and he had a wild card competition on that night. Better to say though, I had a wild card competition and my boyfriend couldn't come. Then he fucking dumped me. Yeah. So I took his brother.
Oh right.
Yeah, but
just because you liked him, or just to spite him?
No. Okay, I like saying that to get the reaction. Okay. But his brother was in my year at high school. Okay. And we were good friends. Okay. And
is that how you met the boyfriend?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. So, and we went to, actually, his brother and I went to primary school together as well. So, like, I've known them for years, and his brother and I were really good friends. So, I kind of was like, I don't really want to be alone, and you don't have a date. So, can we please be dates?
Sounds good.
Yeah. So, that was fun. And then we took, like, an awkward snap. Like, at the thing, the photographer tried to make us look all romantic. And, like, me hold his little collar and have his arms around my waist. And we were just like, nah, mate. Like,
yeah.
His brother just dumped me a week ago. Let's, like, keep the PDA to a minimum, shall we? We did make out at Leavers.
Oh, right.
later, but that was not despite the ex-boyfriend. That was
just Lever's passion.
And I actually really like we got along really well. Him and his brother were very different people. Yeah.
So what happened to him?
Which one? The brother? The brother? I think he's dating someone now.
Yeah.
Actually, my best friend bumped into him the other day wearing clown makeup, she said, which sounds fucking
Your
amazing.
Friend was wearing clown makeup?
Yeah, she's studying, my best friend's studying like makeup.
Okay.
And she was doing clown makeup and must have just bumped into him in the city. And she's like, yeah, I'm like, oh, that's good. I'm like, is he engaged yet or what? He's one of those people that gets into like serial long relationships.
Oh,
so,
right.
Yes.
Do you ever like stalk his Facebook page and
he only just got Facebook.
Case?
No, he only just got Facebook. He's never been a social media person. Yeah. Although I looked at his Instagram because he just got Instagram and he plays guitar, and he gets like fucking like 100 likes because he puts all these guitar hashtags. And I'm just what the? You're getting more likes than me, mate. I don't understand. And you've never been a social person. So that's
I'm always surprised at the people who use lots of hashtags, because there's certain people, like, you know, you're a performer and like, I mean, I don't, but that's just because I'm alone in a room. But I still have I still put weird stuff with me on the internet, so I put myself out there. But then you find these random people who don't seem to have any kind of motivation to live in public like that, who are just desperate to try and get likes by putting amazing hashtags. I'm like, wow.
They just create this mass persona. Yeah. And it's like, And
but then you meet them in real life and they don't seem to be that ambitious at all.
Well, they might be, their character might be. They're the interesting kind of people, because they're the ones that just want to...
They secretly want a fan base on the internet, but
they have,
in real life.
Like when they split themselves. Like I was watching. Can I just tell everyone that's listening that it's pretty cold out here? I know Perth is hot, so if I sound a little bit shaky, I'm actually a little cold. So
I'm sorry about that, because this has been
it's fine. I'm just an idiot who wore shorts and a t-shirt and expected to be cool by the river. So anyway,
I'm cold as well.
I'm just like okay, but wait, where was I going with that? Oh, right. I was listening to, Honey Boo Boo?
Yeah.
She had an interview on some morning show. And she was all like, hey, y'all, like, it's Honey Boo Boo with her mama June. And she was saying, like, they were like, oh, what's your, asking you all these 10-year-old questions, like, what's your favourite food or what's this? And she's like, oh, what's Honey Boo Boo's favourite food or my favourite food? And I was like, Jesus, having that split personality, like knowing that that's your job as a 10-year-old, and then having that personality like, oh, what's my favorite? I'm actually really shy, like, you've got to have some aspect. I mean, I know that people do that to protect themselves, like Tom Cruise refers to himself in third person, and I get that, I do, but then at the same time, if you're gonna go down that way, you've got to have a bit of yourself in there. Otherwise, how mental. You, like that disassociation, it's a bit...
I would like to refer to myself in third person. I just don't have the discipline. I'll just forget.
Well, just walking around.
Something you'd have to dedicate stand in the mirror and say, yo, James, what's going on?
Yeah. I mean, you could talk yourself up that way, like third person. I mean, I probably could use some of those pep talks myself sometimes.
So did you got shot out of high school? We shot with aim, or you didn't know where you're going to land?
I was like shot. Well, I didn't go to that much of a Darrow kind of school.
You have structure in your life, and then you've got a choice whether you want to keep going structure like studying, or you can go out into the world.
I've always been torn between my logical self and my... I mean, I know most people are, but like when I was applying for uni, for example, I was like, do I apply for arts or do I apply for science? And whatever I get into, I will... that can be my path. And I got into an arts degree, and then I deferred because I was like, to be fair, I like to teach myself things, and a lot of the stuff I feel like with an art degree, I can kind of just teach myself. And I like linguistics and all that kind of stuff, and I was going to teach myself French and all that stuff. Oh, there's a baby crying. That travelled. And so I kind of was like, oh, well, I'll defer for a year and I want to travel. So I saved up. I was assistant manager at a shoe store. It's great. Got paid pittance. Then I crashed my car and I had to pay all the money I'd saved into the insurance. And don't worry, I was okay. Thanks for asking. And
well, you're here. You seem okay.
I was okay. I mean, this is when I was like 18.
Yeah, okay.
And then actually my sister got me a job working at like a phone company, and like I got made so much more money. Anyway, so it put me back like 6 months of me traveling, which in the end was fantastic because these things happen, and then you meet all the people you're meant to meet, basically. And then I came back, and 6 months later I was like, you know what, I'm gonna save up and move to London and be in the hub of it so I can do more traveling whenever I fancied and live away from Australia and Perth. And yeah, I loved London. I miss it so badly. Today has been a real missing London badly day, actually. I get them every now and then, like the London blues. And then hopefully Canada soonish. But yeah, so I kind of came home and was just like, right, so you've done London for 2 years. You were not confident to audition for anything when you were over there. So come back, and then again, logical mind. Yeah. I was either going to do massage therapy or performance. Yeah. And I kind of got into this like last minute. I dyed my hair green. I dye my hair a lot. Okay. I get bored. Actually, I've left this one for a while, but I came back from London and I cut off my hair, and it was a nice colour, all nice. Then I messed around with it a bit. Then I went dark green, like because it's called Enchanted Forest or something. I don't know if people know the Manic Panic brands. And it was gorgeous. Too much upkeep, way too much upkeep. Yeah. And anyway, so I just dyed it, and in the instructions it was like you got to leave it in for like a week before you wash it so that it sticks. And I just dyed it maybe like 3 or 4 days, and I called the school because it said that they'd had their auditions for my school, and I called to just be like, hey, like it still says you're auditioning, but you've started, like you're about to start, whatever. Anyway, he calls me back, had a chat with him, and he was like, actually they start orientations like next week, but this is Friday afternoon, 5 p.m. If you come in on Monday at midday with a monologue prepped and 16 bars of a song, I'll get the head of music theatre to come down and listen to you, and we'll tell you on the day. Yeah. And I'm like, okay. So he had to vouch for, I was like, I've done hip hop, so he had to like, and other styles growing up, but like, so he didn't see my dancing. Anyway, so I've walked into this, and I have a lot of ear piercings too. I have about 13. Less now, but yeah. Anyway, so I've walked in with like my green hair, my piercings, dressed very nicely though, may I add. And in
like in a suit?
Not in a suit, like little heel pumps, a kind of tight skirt up to the knees, like black, and then like a nice little blouse. Okay. You know, like an interview, like a job interview. Okay. And so I kind of had 2 days to prep this monologue, and I've not prepped a monologue in a very long time at this point. I'm like, how am I going to remember this in 2 days? Yeah. And then I had to prep a song too, and at the time I didn't know what the fuck 16 bars was. Roughly. I was like, it's a bridge and a chorus, roughly? Let's just go with that. And I didn't want to learn a complete new Broadway song. And knowing that Disney is a massive no-no to audition with, I did it anyway, because I figured this is like to get into a fucking course. I'm not like auditioning for Broadway. Yeah. So I sung Colours of the Wind. Okay. From Pocahontas. Oh, yes. Pocahontas. That's what I thought. One of my favourite songs. Yeah. And then, I got in, and then it was just like from there, basically, just like bang, 50 hours, no life. And yeah.
That was last year.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So we got to do we did a musical. We had like a mid-year and an end-of-year production, and the end-of-year production, even though I'd busted my knee, was awesome. So yeah, I didn't know what it was at the time. It kind of happened like 5 or 6 weeks out, and I was like, okay.
You had a sore knee?
Well, I went to the physio and was like, what is this? And she's like, I'm not sure. It could be this. Yeah. It could be this. I was like, okay. And because I was still dancing, she's like, don't use your turnout and don't do this. Yeah. And I was like, cool. So she was like stabbing my leg with like needles, which was amazing. Sounds gross, but it was amazing. And and she goes, well, I think it's more this, like the third time I went in. Yeah. And she's like, but I won't know until you get an MRI. I'm like, I am broke, can't afford an MRI. And I have a show in like 5 weeks. Can we just get me strong enough for the show? And she's like, okay. We can try. So for 2 weeks, don't do this. And then like 2 weeks out from show, I'm like, no, I have to wear heels. I have to do all this stuff. And I was so adamant because I worked my ass off to get into so many numbers. Yeah. And to be in the position I was placed in those numbers as well. Like, I worked goddamn hard. So I was like, I am not, if I can avoid it, asking to be moved or, taken out of a number. So I had to cheat a couple of moves. But for the most part, it was okay. My knee was very fat.
Oh, right.
And we're gonna watch it back soon, and I feel like I'm gonna cringe at how fat my knee was. But yeah, there was some good stuff that came out of it, and yeah, people were really impressed. So like by the show in general. So that was awesome. We're doing Footloose this year as the musical. Footloose. Yeah, yeah. The soundtrack is actually really good. Like for the musical. I mean, I don't know about but the soundtrack's good. Yeah. And I'm the mum.
Okay.
I was like, for God's sake, great, because I'm old. I'm not. But in comparison to everyone else.
Oh, right.
No, her character work is good.
Do you have to make yourself look old, or I
don't know. I feel like they might just...
You're a young mum.
I feel like they might just dress me a little frumpy. Yeah. Because I'm the Reverend's wife.
Yeah.
And like some like low bun, maybe some glasses. And yeah, so like... But her character's nice. She's kind of the mediator. So I get to... And she gets a solo and a trio, and she doesn't dance, which is depressing because I can dance a little. But that's okay. Hopefully.
It's probably a good idea. Keep it easy. You don't want to do the other leg.
But I loved it. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. So yeah, I kind of just mill around when they do the dancing classes and kind of help the choreographer and stuff. And we just did a fringe show actually. Okay. Yeah, that was fun.
What was that?
It was called 3 Short Shows: A Twist on Musical Theatre.
Oh right, I did not see that.
I would have been very surprised if you had. But basically, it was just If
this the thing is, I have to.
Are you into theatre?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go if I know someone in it, but I never know what to go to see by myself, you know?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we had artist passes.
I get paralysed by choice. So you just look at the program and go, oh, no.
What is this? But then usually you'll see one and then they'll suggest another, or you'll see people there that you know and they'll be like, oh, I just saw this, and you kind of spirals from there. But I mean, as an artist, we got passes that we could abuse.
Yeah, okay.
And go see lots of shows. And I still didn't see as many as I would have liked to. We're like 3rd biggest in the world now. Yeah. It's pretty amazing. Like
I think I only went to one official one. I'm going to one on tomorrow.
Or like the PF ones? Or La Soirée? Sorry.
Limbo?
Oh, Limbo. Yeah, because that's still going.
It's still going.
I actually saw that in London years ago. Yeah, on the South Bank. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they've changed the show.
I'm going with my mum. She's making me go.
She's making you go. Well,
it's my duty as a son to go to it, because my dad's not really into the art, so she makes me go to it.
Do you have any sisters?
Yeah. She's more into politics and stuff.
Oh, okay. So she's probably just comment on the
I'm her art student son.
Right, yes. I am that daughter for my family too. But yeah, like I probably am going to use my artist pass to see that in the next week as well. But yeah, no, our show was about, my friend from my school wrote it, and like another one helped write the song as a parody.
From your dance school?
Yeah. Because we did for one of our assessments, we had to make a cabaret and like do a rough thing, and we made it so stupid funny. It was silly humour, and so he kind of got the idea from that and ran with it. So basically we got 3 musicals and condensed them into 20-minute segments, and parodied them and made fun of them.
Awesome.
So it was Les Mis, West Side Story, and Grease.
I love Les Mis.
Do you? Everyone dies.
I went to London just to see it.
Oh, really? Yeah. I didn't see it in London, you know.
I don't know if it's a good version or not, because the only other version I've seen was the Perth one.
Well, I'm a bad theatre student. I only just watched Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, right. I went to Sydney to see that when I was like really young.
Oh, really? No.
Because I was my art student son.
So you
my
had to
mum
go.
Took me.
So she was like, yes, you're coming. She's training you young.
Because my dad refused to go.
Well, yeah, I watched I think the 25th anniversary at the Robert Albert Hall, whatever it is.
Oh, right.
Robert
was
Albert? You mean the Royal Albert? Yeah, it was fantastic. Okay. The guy who was the Phantom was just incredible. His voice, yeah. So if you can get a hold of a copy, get it. And they did this like mass thing at the end where they sung, I don't know, the one where he looks like he's raping her. Like music raping her. The one where he's like, sing for me.
Yeah.
That one. They did that with 4 of the Phantoms. That song's, literally, it's like he's musically raping her. But yeah, there's like her.
There's like 4 guys.
Yeah, Sarah Brightman's in the middle, and then the 4 of the old Phantoms come out, and it's awesome. Yeah. Yes, so we did that. West Side Story, which we made instead of Puerto Ricans, we were bogans and hipsters.
Yeah.
So that was funny. We got to do some funny jokes there, and I was Frenchie in Greece, which was fun.
Okay.
I hate pink, and I had to wear this pink frou-frou little thing, which was fun for the character, so that's okay. Yeah. But yeah, so that was awesome, and got to sing. I was Fantine in Les Mis. And I'm going to Bustleton Fringe actually in a couple of weeks to do like We are, but we actually can't. When we're missing 2 people, can't do it. So we're trying to. Yes. Yeah. So we need to replace people. But I'm doing a Broadway show, like a cabaret singing, and I'm singing "I Dreamed a Dream."
Okay.
Just for you. I'm singing "Don't Rain on My Parade." I dreamed a dream. What else am I singing?
It's a bit depressing.
Listen, it is depressing. Listen, the Beyonce thing.
All right.
And we're doing the Internet's for Porn, which is from Avenue Q. Avenue Q, with the puppets.
Okay.
Have you seen it? No?
Oh yeah, my friend Eloise is doing it.
Oh really? Yeah, I had to sing one song for an assessment, and then this one, he's like, go learn this, and I was like, all right, and then I did it today with him. And
I haven't seen it. I might actually go because she's doing it.
It's very funny. It's very funny. I haven't seen the whole thing.
It was on in London when I went to see Les Mis, but I was only in London for one night. So,
oh really? It was like the bit where it's like, the internet is really, really great for porn. Yeah. Like, and this big thing this monster comes out, and she's like, ew, Trekkie, stop it, the whole time. She's like, can I finish my song, please? Yeah, it's funny.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I've been ending these interviews with just one question.
Do I need to drum roll it?
It's a weird question, but it's something you don't have to think about too much. Something more off the top of your head.
Right.
Or you can talk us through your thinking process.
Okay, I do that a lot, so that could be the way to go. Yes.
Okay, so some strange creature comes up to you, some being, and he does some weird magic shit, and you're like, oh god, this guy's the real deal, and he's like, sorry, but you're gonna die in 48 hours.
Oh my god!
But the good news is that whatever building you die in, you get to haunt forever.
Okay.
As long as it's a public building, it can't be like your own house. A public building or space, and here's $20,000. You can go anywhere in the world as long as you can get there in 48 hours, or hire a private jet if there's no jets,
For 20,000, yeah, okay.
Or whatever it is to get a private jet to anywhere in the world.
Where do I
And
go?
you get to haunt that place forever.
Does it have to be a building? Can it be a place?
Yeah, it can be a place. It can't be like a whole country, but it could be like Elizabeth Key or...
Oh, this is. I'm going to overlook the morbid part of the question where I die in 48 hours, but I understand the question and where you are going with this. This is deep. Okay, so out of all the places I've been, where would I haunt?
It could be somewhere you've never been.
Could be somewhere I've never been, but there's been a couple of places in my travels where I've either felt like I've been there before, which is amazing.
All right. Spooky deja vu.
Yeah, spooky deja vu. Or there's been places where I'm like, I need to come back here. My life, says that I should come back here. So I'm just thinking of, I have to like filter through countries. Probably somewhere really green. So somewhere like, probably somewhere like Scotland or Ireland, like just out overlooking a pasture sort of city life.
Not a particular castle? Or
yeah, a castle would be fun, I guess. But I feel like I'd freak people out.
Town hall in a little city?
Yeah, I mean that's. But then
little town?
People would think people think that I'd be a scary ghost if I did that. Yeah. Scary spirit. Sorry, spirit.
You don't have to be scary. It could be.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. It's like I could be a nice one, but yeah, probably somewhere really green with an amazing view. Oh, actually, no, that might be... Oh, I guess if I'm dead, I'm not feeling anything in life, really. Technically, it's not going to be cold. So somewhere in Iceland has amazing scenery. Like...
You'll be all alone. Don't you want somewhere where there's people?
Oh, yeah. But if I sit atop a hill where they go to look at the aurora...
Yeah,
then I'll be visited nightly.
Have you seen the aurora?
I saw a pitiful version.
Yeah.
It was very sad. I was only in Iceland for 3 nights. The first night, they said they cancelled the tour because they weren't going to see anything. The second night we went, freeze my ass off. Much like I'm doing right now, except I was very much covered at that point. And I saw, it was just the outline. So it kind of was like white to the human eye. Mm-hmm. A couple of the cameras got sort of the green light. Mm-hmm. But I saw 39 shooting stars.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
Yeah, like you just looked at the sky and it was covered. And at first I was like, okay, there's one. That's cool. Amazing. Kept looking up and I just, like 30. I can't even remember. I posted
during a media show.
I posted a Facebook status about it. Okay.
Like, oh my God, guys, I'm in Iceland, I'm seeing sharks.
Yeah, no, because it was just that a number that I saw. I mean, I'd only seen maybe 2 or 3 in my life, and it just, like, the sky was lit up. It was probably all debris. I'll probably get some, like, astronomer correct me, but regardless, it looked like shooting stars going across the sky, and there was about at least 30, and it was phenomenal. So yeah, somewhere like that where people would visit me nightly and I could just get to sit and watch the sky.
Sounds good.
Somewhere like that. That makes me sound like a hippie now, doesn't it?
Did you get to try the fermented shark?
No, that did the puffin. Oh, they have puffin over there too. I didn't really fancy that. Iceland wasn't very place for food, although maybe I just didn't experience. Sorry if anyone.
Yeah, it's meant to be like the worst food in the world because it's basically a rotten shark that's being cured with ammonia. But
the people were so lovely, and they're so smart. They're like they'd speak like 5 languages. Yeah, and it's a tiny awesome. Place. Yeah, and they have. Oh, I went to the Blue Lagoon too, which is beautiful. Yeah. A bit of pampering.
Did that smell?
Not really. It was pretty cold, so it's kind of one of those things where you take off.
And I know some of those volcanic lakes are meant to smell like eggs because of sulfur. I went in Santorini. I went to a place that was all eggy.
I went to Santorini as well. I don't think I went anywhere super eggy.
It's like you went out to the volcano in the middle.
The caldera, yeah. No, I didn't do that. I met some Greek dude who.
This is when I was a kid. I was a pretty scary idea. I was like, why are we going to a volcano that's alive?
What if it explodes and then I die? And this is your fault.
It's like you had to actually swim into the island from the boat, and like you're getting closer and closer, and it's getting more and more egg smell from the sulfur.
Wait, you swim to it? You swam to it?
Yeah, like not. It's kind of like they park the boat off the island.
Yeah, but still, you get wet. Yeah. You have to.
Yeah, they're probably. This is in 1992 or something. They probably have a jetty now.
How old are you?
32, 31. Sorry.
31. So you were like 6.
I was 7 or 8.
7, yeah. Yes. Well, I mean.
Am I 32? No, I'm 31.
Yeah, I just went and I had an umbrella in Santorini. It's all down here from here.
I'm thinking of just saying I'm 44.
No one will know. You could say you're 20, 21. I'm this young, hip. I could say that I'm 18. No one will know.
Do you ever make up characters when you go out and stuff like that?
Sometimes.
Yeah, I always pretend I'm like a father with 3 kids sometimes.
Okay, well, no, I don't do that because that's like I mostly.
And they're like, why are you here, not with your kids? I'm like, because I'm creepy.
I don't go to that extent. Sometimes it's mostly when I'm ordering food.
Okay.
I like to
make up a story.
Not a story. I just do an accent and a different name. So I went to Nando's. And I was really bored in line, and no one was around me, so I couldn't. You know how sometimes you try and do it, and your friends freak out, and they're like, "What the fuck are you doing, man? That's not your name." And then they give you away, and you look like a tool. So I was standing there by myself, and I'm like, "I'm gonna practice this accent." So I think I was Irish. I can't remember, but I was like, "Can I have some peri peri chips, thanks?" Like real, like broad, and she's like, "Oh." She's like, yeah, sure. She's like, what's the name for? And I was like, Bessie. And she's just like, so they're like, chips for Bessie. I was like, oh, yes, thank you. Have a wonderful evening. Like, and walked off.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so I like to do that to people. That's amusing, unless I'm a regular.
Do you practice accents, or you just go over the spur of the...
Spur of the moment. Sometimes I practice. Because I mimic, so it depends. I really got into a TV show called The Fall, which if you haven't watched it, you need to watch it. Okay. And it's set in Belfast, so they like talk about the Belfast Strangler. Yeah. So you start to pick up all the nuances. So because I watched it, 5 episodes a day for a little while when I was not knowing what I was doing with my life. Yeah. I was just walking around with this sort of like Belfast sort of twang, and I'm sorry if anyone's listening to me in Belfast because it probably sounds nothing like it, as I have not done it in a very long time. So yeah. You know what's amusing? I'm kind of looking around. I'm like, how many of these people do you think are on Tinder dates?
I don't know.
It's not that busy,
this is, I wondered. I wasn't sure if. Usually I do, like, if I have a random audition for like a film thing and I don't have a place to do it, I usually meet up at the cultural centre, but I was like, oh no, it's not the Lizard of Keys open, let's go there.
It is pretty. I mean,
it's a lot nicer when it's warm.
The cultural city centre would have been amusing. I'm sure there would have been plenty of Tinder dates that we could have analysed. But, I mean, really, Instead, people here are just really amused by your dead cats of microphones.
Yeah, we've had this is, even though there's less, because of, I guess, the fringes and it's cold, there's less people than I've been here before.
Yeah.
I had way more looks this time.
I miss Fringe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was
having withdrawals.
It was,
Did you go
it was
to the awards
fantastic.
night?
No, because we weren't nominated.
Oh, okay.
But I went to the after party. But yeah.
Was that what's a Fringe festival after party like? Is that
it was
grungy?
It was pretty tame. I was out of there by like midnight, but I met some dude and just so like we were friends.
Okay.
He did. Yeah, he did.
It was like you.
We met out, but that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the party.
After the party.
Oh right. Oh, you went home with him.
No.
You don't have to tell me. It's not my business.
No, excuse me. No, he walked me to my car.
Okay.
And then kissed me goodnight.
Oh, but you already knew him.
Yeah, no, I actually stalked him. This is a funny story.
That's why you went to the party.
No.
Because you thought he was here.
No. He, James, I have lots of stories. This is my problem.
I know, you've been talking for ages.
I'm sorry. Do you want me to stop talking? I feel like people are going to get bored.
Talking. I just don't want to keep you out in the cold.
This is true.
We've finished our...
So people aren't going to listen to this? If I tell you the story, you're just going to listen to me talk about it? Because I'll tell you the story, but I don't know if everyone else is going to listen to the story.
Oh, we can... If you want to tell me...
Okay. Do you want to tell us?
If things work out, we can just attach this to the next show.
So, funny story.
Mm-hmm.
We went to see after one of our shows, because our show was an early slot. It was like 5:15.
As in your Fringe show?
Yeah, our slot was quite early.
And so you went out as a group afterwards?
Yeah, quite often we'd go see a couple of shows. By the time we did that, it was like 8, 9, see a show.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, and we were like looking on every day. They have a board that says what's on that night and stuff. So we were like, okay, what are we going to see? And we saw this one called Impromptunes, which if anyone in Melbourne's listening to, because they're from Melbourne, they were fantastic. But we were like, cool, it's like an improvised musical. And because we all do improv and all that stuff. So we ran to the Noodle House.
I actually wanted to see that. And that came last year, didn't it?
I think so. But
I tried to go last year. It was sold out, and I totally forgot to check if it was on this year.
Yeah, I didn't go. So we've gone, and we came in late. We were the annoying people that came in late.
Yeah.
But they had the seats on the other fucking side as well, and there was no like entryway through the middle, so we had to climb over all these people with our bags. Anyway, so we've gone to watch, and we're like, oh, he's cute, and me and my gay friend were like, is he gay though, or is he straight? Because he makes out with the dude in it, and it looks like a really good kiss.
So this guy, you saw him on stage? That's what
I saw him on stage.
Saw him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, he's cute, and my friend and I were like, yeah, he's cute, nice voice.
Yeah.
And we're like, but is he gay or is he straight? Because in this industry, more or less, they're gay.
Never know.
They're gay most of the time. So I was like, or have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, he's cute. Anyway, so I've gone home, and I'm pretty sure I stalked him like a couple of days later, and kind of tried to work out which one he was, because there was a couple of dudes. And I'm pretty sure I found out, but I don't remember this. I only remember this recently. Anyway, then I saw him walking around Fringe one night as I was flyering. So I went up and was like, hey man, saw your show a couple of nights ago. Thought it was fantastic. Still not knowing whether he's gay or straight. So I wasn't hitting on the dude. I was just being nice. Gave him a fly, and he's like, cool, well, yeah, I'll come see your show. Awesome. How nice. Anyway, and then we matched on Tinder. Mm-hmm. And I see him a couple more times around Fringe.
Well, as in you saw him and was like, oh my God, yes.
Yeah, so we matched.
The wrong way.
Yeah, we matched. And I was like, hey, you know, we've met before, right? And he's like...
And you're chatting or in person?
Chatting on Tinder. Sorry, this is chatting on Tinder. I'm like, you know, we've met before, right? And he's like, yeah. He's like, I actually came to your show last night. And I was like, oh, that's weird. I was like, oh, so you didn't stop and say hello? And he's like, oh, you were talking to people. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. He goes, yeah, I've actually got a show in there in a couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, so you were just scoping out the venue. You didn't come to see my show. Yeah. And he was like, no, I came because a pretty girl gave me a flyer. And I was like, right. That was smooth. You are definitely straight. You could be bi, but I'm rolling with straight. So anyway, and then we met up and had coffee, and then we just kept chatting. And then I went to see a show. No, through text now. I gave him my number.
Yeah. So it wasn't like you then ran into him at Fringe later and was like, oh, hey, you're the guy from Tinder.
Yeah, no. And then we just like kind of kept chatting, but we were always kind of busy and didn't meet up again until like a couple of days before his show started. And then I went to his show on the last night, and and then he went back to Melbourne the next day. So
he went back to Melbourne.
He went back to Melbourne. Yeah, he's from Perth, but he lives in Melbourne. And he was like, we were talking about how like stalking each other on Facebook because we weren't friends. Mm-hmm. And so I start telling him how I've stalked him, and I'm quite proud of my Facebook stalking. I am very good at it.
Have you learnt the new friendship feature? Because that blew my mind when I found it out.
No, don't tell me it tells you when you're stalking someone, because that will fuck things up for me.
No, but what you can do is, even if someone you're not friends with, if you find them on Facebook and you have a mutual friend. you can go, if you have a friend that knows them, you can go and click onto your friend that you are friends with, and you click the button on the right-hand side that says See Friendship, and it comes up with this thing. And then if you put a URL will come up with your username and their username, and you can put any two people's username, and it shows you like who friends those people have in common, and that can help you find people. Because if you're like, I'm trying to stalk this one person, I know they know these two people, but I can't find them on Facebook because they have a different name or something.
That's sneaky.
You don't know their name.
That's going to add to my stalking plus.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I just go through friends and like workplaces and like events. But seriously, I was telling him how I've stalked him, and I'm like, yeah, I know your surname, it's fine. And he's like, yeah, I've stalked you too. I was like, oh, that's cool. That makes me feel less weird. And then I start telling him the story of how I stalked him, and I'm getting all proud about it. Then I realised that I actually stalked him way before I'd even met him. And then matched on Tinder, which makes me look like a creepy bitch. And I kind of started telling the story and stopped. And he's like, what? I'm like, well, I've already started, so I'm just going to tell. I can't really come back from that. Yeah. So, yes. But
so now what?
He's back in Melbourne.
That's it?
Yeah, if I go to Melbourne, I'll say hi. He's a nice dude. We're just like, it's just nice when it's easy to get along with someone. And we're just one of those people. So it wasn't like, oh, we're so hot for each other, let's just sleep the whole time you're here. We made out. Okay. And it was nice. But, yeah, just random. Like, nice dude.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So it's just for, like, my stalking.
So did you leave the party to make out with him?
Basically. I didn't want to be there too late because I had pad the next day. Okay. Although I didn't start till 2:45. It's not much of an excuse. But, yeah, I just didn't want to be there, like, for ages. And then he was like, I'll walk you to your car. Thank you, gentlemen. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I thought that story was amusing.
That was like
people laugh at me.
Okay. Well, I think that's a pretty epic introduction to Tania.
Yeah, sorry guys. I tell lots of stories and like detail, and people tell me to hurry the fuck up.
So what's your brief pitch to listeners? What kind of stuff are you going to talk about?
I'm kind of that person that has stories where you're like, that doesn't happen to people, or I just have a lot of stories that kind of link. Yeah. Kind of weirdly, or usually they're about a guy. That's why my friends laugh at me.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy. I just have lots of things that are funny to discuss, and I talk a lot about lots of different things. I feel like I can have opinions about lots of things. I feel like my pitch is just, if you want someone to talk and say weird things on occasion, then I am your person, because I say lots of strange things that people wish. Actually, I have a couple of friends that wish they write down some of my comments, my quotes, to like write them in a book later, or I know my housemate in London used to do it, and my best friend does it.
Sounds good.
Yeah, she just lost hers, so I have to make a new like list for her. But not make
a book.
Well, she had it on her phone because she's just next to me, and she's like, "Oh my god!"
Doesn't back up to the cloud.
She's just laugh and just put it in her quotes.
Yeah.
Which I find really amusing because I don't think I'm that weird on occasion. But yeah, so
I think it's a compliment.
One-liners on occasion. I'm not like comedian, but and weird accents, weird voice, or whatever this is. I don't know what this is. I was a bit worried about talking because
this might not even be your real accent. We don't even know.
I was a bit worried. I'm like, I don't really know what's going to come out. Yeah, what's going to come out? Because if
you start mimicking me, you're going to sound really weird.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can't really do that unless I talk down low.
Australian nerd.
And I can't do Aussie. Aussie's my worst, like pure Aussie.
Oh, I saw the moon rising over the hotel.
Oh my god, that is beautiful, James. Look at it.
Wow. How's the serenity?
It's actually so bright. It's actually really pretty. I'm not being sarcastic.
Is that a light on top of the building? No,
I'm not
slowly emerging bulb of light.
It's huge tonight. And I'm not being sarcastic, by the way. It's actually really pretty. I'm not trying to be like one of those
you were talking
people,
about
commentary,
you were loving the meteor showers and the aurora.
Yes.
Which
does make me sound like a hippie. Yes, the aurora borealis.
That's one thing I would like to see one day.
Yeah.
I'd rather see it from space.
Go to like Norway. I want to go to Norway and try and hunt it down. I feel like that would be a nice place next. Yeah. Because I didn't go to Norway.
Well, this has been a pretty epic introduction.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Obviously, I'm going to edit in about exactly how you get to vote for Tania, but you've heard lots of things from her. I think we know whether you want to keep her or not.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If people get through this, congratulations.
Okay.
James will send you $50.
Thanks for Thanks for coming in.
This was fun.
It was nice to meet you.
This was really nice to meet you. This was fun.
Okay, that was Tania. You have now heard all 3 candidates speak, Nina, Jessica and Tania. 3 candidates with distinct voices and different perspectives. You have also hopefully taken studious notes, and it is now time for you to decide who you want to vote for. Now, I want you to draft your note with me right now. Take a moment, pick up a pen or open the Notes app on your phone. Pause at any time or even go back and re-listen to the 3 conversations if you need to. Decide who you are going to vote for. It can be your personal preference, or it can be the person you think is the most suited for the Jimmerish FM casual conversation style. However, you must have an example to back up your choice. I want you to include with your vote an example from your preferred candidate's conversation that exemplifies why you want them to be Jimmerish FM's next co-host. So let's put your vote together right now. First of all, I want you to select your first preference for who you wish to be the next co-host of Jimmerish FM. Your first preference is your favourite candidate. Write down their name. It is either Nina, Jessica, or Tania. You can check the spelling in the show notes, but I'm sure if you get anywhere near it, I will know who you mean. Then I want you to write down a 1 or 2 sentence explanation as to why they are your favourite candidate. I actually want you to give an example from the conversations they had with me as to why you think they'll be the best for Jimmerish FM. Basically, I want to make sure that you've actually listened to the podcast and listened to their conversations carefully to make sure I know that your vote is worth considering. Once you have selected your first preference, I want you to select a backup preference. Right? This is your choice if the person you want the most is eliminated from the competition after the first round of votes. So if your favourite person gets knocked down after I've counted the first round of votes, your backup vote will get to count. Preferential voting, man. It's awesome. This is essential. If you don't provide a second preference, your vote won't be counted. You can't just vote for your mate. You have to listen to the other contestants' conversations and make a decision about who you prefer to vote for out of the others. I wanted to make sure this was in there because I know a bunch of you might be coming in and just want to vote for your mate, but I want you to actually listen and check it out. Now, write down the name of your second preference on your vote form. Then write down a 1 or 2 sentence explanation about why you think they deserve to be considered. And when I say vote form, I'm just talking about whatever you're writing on your piece of paper or your notes app page. So now you should have a list. Your draft vote should be complete. You should have listed your first preference for who out of the top 3 candidates you wish to be the next co-host of Jimmerish FM. Included with that first preference should be a short explanation as to why they're your first choice. Then, following that, you should have listed your backup preference. This is the person you think is best suited for the job in case your first preference is eliminated early in the vote count. This selection should include a short, positive explanation as to why you chose them as your backup choice based on what you heard in their conversation with me. Now that you've checked that your vote offers all the information I need from you, I want you to transcribe, if you're using paper and pen, or copy and paste if you're using a notes app, that vote into an email. I want you to send that email to hostsearch@jimmerishfm.com, hostsearch@jimmerishfm.com. If you want to know how to spell that, again, check the show notes. I want you to be diligent here. Or you can paste that vote into a message to Jimmerish FM's Facebook page. Basically, go to Jimmerish FM's Facebook page and there's somewhere there. I'm not a big Facebook user. There is a message button that you can send me a message because I know a bunch of you send me messages. Time was going, where's the next show going to be on? And I'll accept votes through that avenue there if you want to use Facebook. If you're having trouble remembering where to send your vote, make sure you check the links in the show notes or on your podcast app or at jimmerishfm.com. I want you to get your votes in by 1 a.m. on the 7th of March 2016 Universal Time if you want your vote to count. That's right, Universal Time. 1 a.m. on the 7th of March 2016 Universal Time. It's the same time, anytime in the world, Universal Time. It's a brilliant concept. Yes, so get them in. It's about a 48-hour period after I've released this, after which you can still send in your feedback, but I'm hoping to announce the winner by next week. And that's it. If you're having trouble understanding how to vote, go back and listen to these instructions again. Or if you can't be bothered voting, don't worry. Only having votes from people who can really be bothered makes it easy for me anyway to decide. So anyway, thanks. I can't wait to hear what you think, and I look forward to hearing from you who you think is the best choice for Jimmerish FM's co-host for 2016, Nina, Jessica, or Tania. Thanks for listening. Ciao.